Right now, we got Jawan Buford on the line from nextopsocial.com. Good morning, Jawan.
Good morning, Danko. How are you, good sir?
Oh, we're doing all right. Looks like you're out and about, hustling around.
Yeah, man, yeah. Got to get in this crisp air.
Right. I think it was 7 degrees Celsius.
Yes. And, of course, we are in the people business, so you got to go where there's people.
That's right. Where are the people right now? We were talking about that. Where are the people?
Well, I'm in close proximity. I mean, like I'm 5 minutes from downtown, right? Literally a 5-minute walk. So,
okay.
Things have been very, 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 very festive down here. You have the concerts and the holiday events taking place. The restaurants and the stores are bustling. The cafes are crunk first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So hence the background, and that's where I typically go to find you, man. I look for the watering holes.
Right.
Of course, Midtown is on 10 right now. Everyone's festive and having a good time and networking and meeting up with friends. Now that folks have had a chance to take a little bit of break from work and whatnot, it's been pretty cool. Nice.
Beautiful. Is there any way that, are you on speaker? I'm not hearing you too loudly, but I can still hear you, but not clearly.
Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it easy. Hold on.
All right. Here we go.
I kind of figured this might happen.
Okay.
So.
You were prepared.
I was prepared.
Good.
All right. So. There we go. That should be a lot quieter now.
All right. We appreciate that.
You hear me clearly now?
Yeah, we can hear you a little bit better now for sure. We just want to make sure we get to hear the conversation clearly, and everybody that can tune in can hear it. So you're out and about, you're shuffling around, trying to make sure that you're part of what's happening next, right? That's what we're all here for, is to be part of what's happening next, right? What is happening next? And, the one thing that I was thinking about, we had a call about the cable bills and other things, but, that's a whole nother topic. And that's something interesting that's happening right now with everyone moving from cable bills to internet entertainment. So there's a whole thing about that we're going to probably be talking about more later this hour. But I wanted to talk about something that was in my mind, was about aiming big. Right? Now, a lot of people that might be thinking about doing anything in their life, do you feel like they aim high enough, Juan?
Well, I mean,
big
I
enough?
don't want to start out on a being a little bit of a downer, right?
Right.
But the reality is, no. I mean, if you ask most individuals, how's your day? How are things going? How's your business? Usually, I mean, let's be real now, a lot of people respond with complaints.
Yeah, right.
The first they talk about is what's not going well.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll say everything's okay. And this ideal of aiming big, a lot of people kind of demur when it comes to stuff like that. And the reality of the matter is, man, your success is predicated upon your ability oftentimes to create enthusiasm and excitement.
Right.
And if you're not on 10 about what it is that you're doing, if you don't have big goals, big objectives, big dreams, things you're looking to curate in life, you said something earlier that kind of triggered me about shuffling around to see what happens. No, you curate what happens.
Yeah.
You're the curator. You're the creator, right?
Right.
And you have to have big goals and dreams in order to adopt that attitude. I was having a conversation with the team last night, and, we're all building our individual businesses. We're all entrepreneurs, and we were talking about how to attract high-performing individuals, right?
Right.
We all want them. High-performing leaders, individuals to lock arms with us so we can go out and build big things. Well, think about it, Danko.
Right.
People who are about accomplishing big things, people who are very credentialed, whether it be from experience, professional, academically, or otherwise, man, they didn't put all that sweat equity to do something small.
Right. They got to do it. Yeah, go big, baby. Yeah. Go big.
Yeah, so as an entrepreneur, you have to understand that. No, you want to be on 10. You want to have a big, hairy, audacious 3-year, 5-year, 10-year goals. You want to be able to paint a picture that you are creating fertile ground where for individuals who have big goals, dreams, and ambitions too, they can plant seeds in that fertile ground right along with you and achieve the things that matter most to them. So, I mean, fantastic topic. But no, people don't talk big enough. And
Yeah.
I'd encourage individuals during this time, right? And, I was listening to the gentleman, and number one, I 100% concur. Yeah, online internet cable
Yep.
is where it's at. Okay?
That's it.
That's number one. But number two, for those who are entrepreneurs, this is the time to be thinking big.
Right.
You're not distracted as much. The phone calls aren't coming in as frequently as much.
Mm-hmm.
Other people that normally would be occupied with the hustle and bustle of work and just trying to get through the day, things settle down. And so now you have the bandwidth. Maybe now it's time to shut that television off for a couple hours, right?
Right.
Maybe it's time to pull out that journal, that notebook, and have an imagination like a kid again. Ask yourself, if your best laid plans came true, where would you be a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? And go big.
Right.
Go big. I mean, the big, audacious goals, the goals that are so big that your friends and family kind of look at you and they're like, okay, this person sounds crazy.
Right.
But I'm going to stick around. I'm going to keep tabs on this person just in case they accomplish it. If he does, she does, I want to be part of that, right?
Right.
That's how big you want your goals to be.
Yeah.
And you don't, big goals give you energy. Mediocre goals don't give you energy.
That's
big
so true.
Goals give you energy.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah, this is an inside game. Yeah, eat well, work out, have the right people around you, all these different things. But at the end of the day, success, especially if you're an entrepreneur, it's an inside game.
It totally
and
is.
You got to pull that inspiration from the inside. Your goals and ambitions should drive you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they're so absolutely important.
And so, like, when you're working with entrepreneurs, do you see that they fall like in that mediocre range when they're looking at their big dreams or goals, or are they looking at those big goals and big dreams? Are they aiming big enough?
Well, they do until they talk to me.
Reality check time, right?
Yeah, after the checkup from the neck up,
yeah,
make those necessary adjustments, and they start aiming big again. One of the things I encourage people to do when I first meet them, because I'll ask them, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? What do you want your business to be doing? And they'll come with these kind of medium-sized objectives, right?
You're right.
And then no matter what comes out of their mouth, typically I'll press pause. And I'll say, let me ask you a real question. When you started this business, when you started this entrepreneur endeavor, why did you start?
Mm-hmm.
What was it you were taking aim at? What problems that you want to solve? Like, what motivated you down to your core? What lit a fire underneath? Because entrepreneurship isn't easy. Like, I'm so...
Hello? We might have lost Jawan just now.
Social media. Uh-oh, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so often people get caught up in what's going on via social media. They get caught up in what's going on Facebook and Instagram, trying to keep up the Joneses. Not to remind people, you do know a lot of that stuff is curated, right?
Yeah.
That stuff's curated.
Right.
So, listen. So the first thing I encourage people to do is, first and foremost, why did you get started? And usually, Danko, if you dig deep enough, you find a real powerful passion and motivation. Oftentimes, people have lost touch with that because life has beat them down, and naysayers have beat them down. Difficulty has beat them down.
Right.
But the way to get back in touch that, again, is to say, look, why did you get started? What were the problems you were trying to solve? What was the issue you were taking aim at? And the majority of the time, Danko, it was big.
Right.
It was big. It was something that made a real impact in their lives or to impact somebody else's life. And they said, I want to deal with this right here, right now. I'm motivated. Let's go. They hit the go button, right?
Yep.
The next question I ask individuals is, who do you want to serve? If you want to serve thousands of people, you have a big business to do that, right?
Yeah.
If you want to change thousands of lives, you can have a big business to do that, right?
Right.
So often we kind of get caught up in a rut of our small circle that we're in. And there's nothing wrong with having a small circle, but at the end of the day, your network is your network.
Mm-hmm.
And that also includes the people that you intend on serving. That includes the marketplace. And so sometimes you have to ask yourself, what do I need to do to serve 1,000 people? What would that goal require of me?
Mm-hmm.
How would it require me to think? How would it require me to move? What would I need to invest in?
Right.
And Denko, 1,000 doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot when you're first starting out. That's a big goal.
Oh yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
To have 1,000 people who are your tried and true, they love you, they patronize you, they have your back no matter what. That takes some work. That takes some heavy lifting.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So, having those big goals will drive you to think bigger. It'll drive you to invest more. Your business becomes exciting when you think about it in those terms. And those are some of the questions I ask people to kind of wake them up.
Mm-hmm. Just if we think about what it takes to create 1,000 clients or customers, the amount of emails, the amount of social media that you produce, the work that you do with whatever you're making, right? That's part of the deal too. Whatever you're servicing, if you're making a product to service 1,000 people, if you're making food to service 1,000 people, or even if you're a business like yourself that is doing consulting, that you want to serve 1,000 people or 1,000 businesses, that's a huge thing to look at. And if you try to break it down and say, am I going to serve these 1,000 people in 365 days? That's about 3 people a day, right? You start to break it down. Yeah. What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? Once you know that number, I think you can reverse engineer it back and say, okay, now, what kind of equipment do I need? What kind of this do I need? What kind of team do I need to put together in order to service them? That's a great beginning, I think, to get people thinking, get them thinking about the actual process, about converting those people into actual customers and exchanging some kind of a transaction. That's a lot.
Well, hold on, let's go deeper though.
All right.
I really want people to get this. A customer is somebody who walks into your establishment and they may or may not come back again.
That's true. Right.
A client is somebody who not only patronizes you, but they come back for more. And they bring their friends. Right? That's a client. A client is a brand ambassador. They're proud that they patronized you. They're willing to show off their products, services, and wares and let other people know the impact that your products and services had in their lives. That's a client.
Yes.
And look, I really want to quantify this for individuals. Think about it. I love what you just said. Reverse engineer that. 3 doesn't sound like a lot. But 3 people who repeatedly come back on either a daily, a weekly, or a monthly basis.
Yeah.
And that grows and multiplies over the course of time, the gradual impact you have. And then, it gets even better, right? Could you imagine a situation where a year from now, once you have 1,000 people who love you, who are out there patronizing you, telling people the story about your business, they love your services, and let's say all they did was refer on average 3 other people to you. Some will refer more. Well, let's say 3. That's 3,000 people who know about your business, feel good about your business, are inclined to patronize you. Danko, think about your business. Could you imagine if every single month you had 3,000 people checking for you every single month? Could you imagine how that would change your business?
Oh, my gosh. That would be incredible. Incredible.
Jaco, you would be hosting this show from Hawaii somewhere.
Yeah, you better believe it. Maybe even somewhere more glamorous. I don't know. It'd be somewhere, definitely something. If we had 3,000 clients a month, wow.
And it's worth it. Then you get excited just thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just taking aim at that would give you energy.
Right.
And then you just reverse engineer. You don't get all 1,000 today.
That's right.
But you make 3 people really, really happy today. You know what I'm saying? You go in, you over deliver, under promise, over deliver. You give them more than what they expect, and then tomorrow you just get another 3, and then tomorrow just another 3. Right? You just reverse engineer it. What are the things you need to do to make 3 people very, very happy that you can duplicate the following day? So you don't have to go all in. You have to spend $1,000 on Facebook ads today. You don't have to become a social media guru today. You don't have to go out and hire someone that's going to, cost $50,000 to $100,000. There's a reason Fiverr's there, right?
Right. You
can utilize freelancers in your marketplace, interns who are just looking for places to get experience. Just get what you need to really go in on that 3.
And that's conversation.
And
That's
find a
really
way to communicate
conversation,
that.
isn't it? It's targeting and conversation. Like, create an email, an introduction
Yeah.
an email. Maybe you haven't done that in a while. Like, I think sometimes people get complacent in what they're doing and they forget that fire that really started this, start that letter again. I think, start an intro letter again to somebody that might not have been a target lately or something like that, where you can just reevaluate yourself. This is a great time of the year to do it. Between
Yep.
this time right now, there's like not a ton of business going on. There's some business going on, but a lot of retail people trying to take care of, holiday shoppers, and everyone's kind of focused on that right now, I feel. But the entrepreneurs out there and the people working on their own gigs, it's a great time to aim big because you can see what other people are doing. And, every year, I'm always blown away. There's always some kid's toy that made, billions of dollars, right? And they had to aim a little big, right?
Majority of the time, yeah.
I
mean, look, this could be so simple, right? For the entrepreneurs listening, next time you're at a coffee shop, next time you're with family or friends, next time you're engaging anyone, and they turn to ask you, how's everything going? Put a smile on your face. And don't try to sell or serve a product. Just paint the vision.
Mm-hmm.
I am on 10. I'm doing incredible. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I'm taking aim at this right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so excited about the impact we are going to have. I'm so on 10 about knowing the people we're going to help. This is how I'm trying to change the world. This is how I'm going to, forget try, this is how I'm going to change the world. How do you feel about that?
Right.
And sit back and watch their response. Man, if you get on the phone, Danko,
Mm-hmm.
and yell peanut butter with enough excitement to enough people,
Yeah.
somebody can respond back, I want some. Yeah, I would like some of that.
Right.
It's the same thing. You never know who's listening. You never know who you'll meet. You never know who someone else knows.
Yeah.
So lead with that big, hairy, audacious goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Lead with that. Always. I mean, we got to be realistic at times, but when you look at what you can do, it aligns all of your energies, like you said, towards that goal. And even if you come short of reaching that goal in that certain time frame, you're going to be way further ahead had you set a smaller goal, right? So that's how I look at it. And if you set your bigger goals, you're going to reach a certain point of them. Let's say, if you wanted to create 18 things and you created 5 of those 18, it was way more than if you put a goal of 3 and you made 1, right? So
let's take you, for example, all right? Let's take you.
Okay.
Let's say you took aim at 1,000.
Yeah.
And let's say you took aim at 1,000 over a 3-year period of time. So we make it even more incremental.
All right.
Danko, 3 years from now, would you be upset if you had 500 clients on a monthly basis?
Oh,
patronizing you?
Not at all.
See?
Not at all.
See? But you don't get there unless you take aim at 1,000.
That's right. That's
Right?
right. That's right.
You don't get to the 500 until you take aim at 1,000. And if you're expending the energy to take aim at 1,000, you get to 500. So maybe you didn't get to the 1,000, but you have 500, which means you're a lot further ahead than you were today.
That's right.
And if you can do 500, that means, guess what? It's not academic anymore. It's not wishful thinking. You did it.
That's right.
Which means you can do what?
Do it again. And do it with more.
And the second time, it'll be easier.
That's right.
It'll be a walk in the park in comparison to the first time. Because you've learned the lessons. You've made the mistakes. You bumped your head. You developed the alligator skin.
That's right.
Make it a project, entrepreneurs. Take aim. 1,000.
Right.
1,000 clients. 1,000 people. Make 1,000 people happy over the next 365 days. And next year, when we're having this conversation, Danko will be broadcasting from Hawaii.
That's right. Exactly. Can you imagine that? That would be something.
And we'll be celebrating another 100 to 200 business owners that are earning more than they need, and they'll be able to give they'll be able to give back more than they ever believed they could.
That's what it's
How
all
about
about.
that?
That's what it's all about. We're trying to help everyone to get their business going so that they can help more people, employ more people, help the community around them. You know, that's what entrepreneurialism does to communities like Detroit. You know, it really gives people the power to be their own anything they want when they take advantage of that. And I see so many great businesses coming out of Detroit. That's our future. You know, we're, I think, ahead of the curve on a lot of different cities because we have invested in our services. You know what I mean? We've got a lot of great services for entrepreneurs in this town. And the motivation when you see other people doing things, I think it motivates others to do something as well, you know? So, you know, we're right in the midst of it. And I feel like this whole process is, you know, Detroit's a great example of how to rebuild, you know, communities and work with entrepreneurs to do that, you know? So,
You know what? You just gave me an ideal, something I'll share with you, right?
Yeah.
So Very Detroit, and Ask the Neighbor, that's the brand, right?
Yes.
How about you go with the motto, run with the motto, Detroit does it better. And make that every single week. You want to show evidence that Detroit does it better.
Oh, I like it.
Dedicate every single week to showing improvement, show receipts, where you introduce people listening to this radio station of examples of how Detroit does it better in 2022. How does that sound?
I love that. That's a great thing. And we share that kind of stuff on our Facebook, Joanne. Sometimes what we love doing is sharing the progress that's happening in and around the city and the resources. So if anybody's out there that hasn't been connected to our Facebook, check it out at facebook.com/Very Detroit and facebook.com/Ask the Neighbor. And make sure you check out Joanne's information at nextstopsocial.com. Also, you can search on YouTube, Next Stop Social, and you can search on Google when you put in at J.S. Buford, and that'll bring you all Joanne's information and your LinkedIn information. So LinkedIn is something also that is a great place to connect with Joanne. And Joanne, on the side note, well, I'm going to start talking to you a little bit more about LinkedIn so to see how we can reach that 1,000.
Man, we got to hurry and step on the pedal, Danko.
That's right.
Hurry up.
That's right. All right. We will do it, my friend. This is the time that we are building our plans, aiming for the big end result. So it's good to have you on our show, Joanne, every Monday. We appreciate you calling in and giving us this motivation to get us kick-started for the week. It's important because we all need friends that we can, you know, let them know that it's not always peachy keen every single day. You got to, you know, kick yourself in the butt and get moving and get things accomplished every day, especially if you're an entrepreneur. You got to get that motivation from yourself and from that big aim that you're creating. Joanne, anything else you want to let our neighbors know before we let you go?
That will be it, good sir.
All right. You have a wonderful day.
And look, let's stop talking about Danko. We've been talking around each other. Let's get something on the calendar.
All right. You got it.
Yeah, when you wrap up here, give me a call.
All right. You got it, Joanne. Have a great, wonderful day.
Okay.
All right. Take care. That's Joanne Buford, guys, from Next Stop Social. Thank you for tuning in to Ask the Neighbor.